Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Hi, guys. I hope all is well. I have not changed my name on YouTube, but I did on TikTok and Instagram because, it's the new quarter for me, new year for me already in business. So I decided that I wanted to revamp the name, give you something fresh, and that's kind of where we're going towards. Instead of me being a plant-based lifestyle strategist, now we're focusing on naturopath. And so that does incorporate the plant-based lifestyle, obviously, because that's the lifestyle I live. That I never will change that. But that's also just getting you to understand the whole natural healing process and knowing that there are more natural healers out here than what we know in ways of natural healing paths to go down. And so that's why I changed my name to Kendra, the plant-based naturopath. And so that's a shift that we'll be going towards. You'll hear me saying that word more often, and just addressing that. So I want to welcome everybody in today. If you do not know who I am, hello. My name is Kendra, and I want you to, first of all, just understand the concept of the topic of today, which we're going to be talking about why dieting fails, why diet fails, and how healthy lifestyle habits and having those healthy habits are the true key to you seeing the transformation that you deserve and that you want. Understanding how to truly take care of your body through that true transformation with you eating correctly, taking care of your body, and knowing how to do that with food. And so I'm here to help you break free from that toxic cycle. Understand how to break free. Understand what patterns of habits that you have that have led you here. And so if you are ready to reclaim your health and to break free from that toxicity, then first we have to explore the science together, understand the different elements and these small little changes, the powerful changes that we're going to have to make so that we have lifelong healing and we understand how to heal and we understand how to support ourselves. So the first thing I want you to grasp the concept of and what we're going to be talking about, the first point that we're going to hit is the trap of diet culture. So a lot of people understand that like diets can be facade diets. There are keto, there's paleo, there's Weight Watchers, there's Shinny Craig. There's a whole plethora of different diets and things that you can do to help you lose weight for you to be healthier, right? In that moment. And what we don't realize is that diet culture is the belief that thinness, that thin equal line of that your health and your worth can all be put in this momentary box of taking care of yourself for a second. It can be put in this momentary quick fix that you can thrive off of a quick fix. And restricting what you're eating, calorie counting, and feeling guilty are all the things that you should do in order for you to be healthy. These are all the things you need to do for your body to be feeling like it's taken care of. This culture is making us harm ourselves more, thinking that we're eating healthy. You're not only putting yourself in a stressed out state because your body is sitting there hungry and it's sitting there not getting everything that it needs because it needs more nutritional value in the food. But instead, you're following keto and paleo and Weight Watchers, which tells you that as long as you sit here and count the points with your calories, it's okay for you to eat it. But it's not telling you that you're not getting any whole foods to flush your body with natural fiber. You're not getting any natural water. You're not getting oxygen on a cellular level that helps you flush and to be supported. It's not supporting your body and getting the protein that you need and the healthy fats that you need so then you won't be hungry. So instead, you're telling your body, don't be hungry, feel guilty for having cravings, sit here and suck it up because at the end of the day, this is how you lose weight. This is how you take care of your body. And you're not realizing that this is making you hate the lifestyle that you're living, which is going to in return make you go back to the old habits that you had because it's not establishing any healthier ones that allow you to realize that diet culture does not support you. Small little habit changes do. Because roughly about 45 million Americans go on a diet at least once a year. Each year they sit there and they're like, oh, I'm going to do a diet because this is going to help me lose weight. Oh, I'm going to do a diet because this new keto and paleo kind of thing that they've put out on, I don't know, AARP or something is going to help me. My doctor said I need to go on a diet. So let me go and do this momentary diet that I'm going to do for a couple of weeks to a month and then go back and do what I was doing beforehand that led me down this path. You're not realizing that, first of all, we're spending at least $30 billion a year on diet culture, at least. What's up? What's up? How are you doing? Welcome in. $33 billion to be exact, every single year on these diet products. That's a profit margin. And you don't realize that since they sit there and they see you more as a dollar sign rather than a person, you don't realize that the money is there. And so how do they keep getting you to come back? Not showing you how to form new habit patterns. How do they keep sitting there getting you in this space of doing keto and paleo at the beginning of the year, and then by March you give up, and then you try again before the summer, and then you give up again, and then you try again for the winter, then you give up, and you do this whole cycle. Buying all these expensive foods, restricting the foods that you like, restricting yourself from sugar, restricting yourself from this and that, and then you keep flopping back to your old habits because you never established new ones. You're not realizing that 80 to 90% of diets fail. When it comes to them sustaining these habits long term and sustaining the lifestyle that they think that they've incorporated and now established, 80 to 90% fail. So when are we going to sit back and make the question of why? Why are diets failing? Why are they not supporting us? Why every single time I do a diet, do I get off the diet and then gain the weight back, feel bad, and then possibly even gain more weight? Why do I see people do keto and paleo and all these different diets and do it for months? And then they lose all the weight. They look great. They lose 50 pounds. They lose 100. And then somehow they get off of it and they start gaining weight back. Why? Because that restriction leads your brain to saying, I'm deprived. Instead of your brain saying, oh, I have something that is equivalent to replace, your brain is saying, I'm deprived. That's the same thing when you think about when people tell you to stop eating sugar. You start thinking about your favorite snack, your Oreos, your Swedish fish, your cereals, your whatever sugary snack that you love. You start thinking about how you won't have it. That's your brain saying, I'm going to be deprived of sugar. It's not saying, oh, I have alternatives because there's Simple Truth. There's Simple Truth Oreos that don't have all the titanium dioxide and citric acid and everything else in it. There are alternatives because you haven't given yourself the replacement. You just think about restrict, get rid of. And so this triggers you to binge eat, to finish all your snacks before you do your diet. Finish all the food you have in your fridge before you go on a diet. This leads you to doing yo-yo dieting. 1 minute I'm going to calorie count and restrict. Next minute I'm going to binge. 1 minute I'm going to sit here and not eat this. Next minute I'm going to eat the whole box. This is why your diets fail. This is why this is not supporting you. And it also slows down your metabolism. When you are believing in diet culture, you are increasing your stress hormone inside of your body because it's raising your cortisol. And they had a study when you do keto and paleo, I'm not specifically sure which one just came out, but it linked both of them, keto and paleo, to causing stress with your hormones, which is your cortisol, which is your stress hormone. So for the people that love to do their keto and their paleo especially, think about the fact that when you're doing that, it raises your cortisol, which is your stress hormone. So you're sitting here doing a diet to be healthier, right? But you're raising your stress hormone inside of your body, which is going to cause hormonal imbalances, which is going to cause your internal organs to be stressed out to the point where they work overtime and they go into fight or flight mode if they're not already in fight or flight mode. This wreaks havoc on your health emotionally and physically. So physically, you're going to age your internal organs, right? But also sitting there having that emotional stress is going to cause that turmoil on your brain. It's going to cause the issues of you having weight fluctuation. It's going to cause depression. It's going to cause anxiety, panic attacks. And then you're sitting back and trying to figure out, where did it come from? You're sitting there trying to figure out, how did I start having panic attacks and I've never had a panic attack? Why am I going in and out of depression episodes every single time it gets cold around October? It's not the fact that it's getting dark outside. It's the fact that you don't know how to take care of your body and to actually take care of your body according to the earth and the seasons, so that you incorporate the foods that you need to eat around this time that give you that stimulation of the correct amount of healthy fats, healthy sugars, healthy everything that you need, far as the minerals and the vitamins that you need to be supported, so that you don't go into depression episodes, so you don't feel that seasonal depression. And when you do feel that seasonal depression, you know how to get yourself out of it, because you're not overstimulating yourself by putting yourself in fight or flight mode. I see your guys' comments. Let me see what you said. Let me see. So, wow, I think I came across your live one day and asked about the blood type diet. Yes, and I hope that supported you with me talking about the blood type and how you don't have to eat for your blood type. He said you needed to hear that. I know a lot of people need to hear it right now. Thank you. I know a lot of people need to hear it, because that's the thing. I've been talking about for over a month now, how you don't have to wait until 2025 to decide that now you want to take care of your body. You don't have to start a New Year's resolution for you to decide that, okay, diets are going to support me and work now. We've been doing diet culture for how many generations? Like, when you look back and see, like, when Jenny Craig and Weight Watchers started, whichever one started first, it started at least 2 or 3 decades ago, at least. I really want to say about 4. Like, when you look at generations, not decades, excuse me, generations. I'm going to say 2 to 3 generations ago. So when you look at all of these generations in the past that have done Jenny Craig, that have done Weight Watchers, we know that they give you a facade with these lies of these weight loss pictures and all these different things, how they lie to you to get you to tap into it. Why do we keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result? And that's a genuine question. Why do we keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result? Our society runs off of chaos. It runs off of us sitting here having insanity and chaos mixed together. If you do not know, the actual definition of insanity is you doing the same exact thing but expecting a different result. That is the literal definition of insanity. So what does society do? We sit here and do the same exact thing and think that we're the exception to the rule, that it's going to be different, that we are different, right? A lot of us do that. And so we don't even sit back and look and observe the world. We don't observe our own habits. And we really don't sit back and look at the science that is giving you the statistics that you need to realize that these type of diet culture and living this way is not supporting us. And so we have to start changing and establishing new habits, because research is literally telling you that chronic, which is consistent dieting, chronic dieting, consistent dieting increases your cortisol, like I just said, which is the stress hormone, which is going to cause you to have weight gain. And specific weight gain is going to happen around the belly area, the lower belly, especially for women. When we sit here and we talk about how it's so difficult for us to lose lower belly fat, and we talk about how we don't understand why, we eat a certain way, we restrict, we do all this calorie counting, X, Y, and Z, you go to the gym. I didn't realize this until I started taking care of my body internally. That led to external healing, and it started to actually be able to pinpoint when things are off, is the fact that when your cortisol is so high inside of your body, it's not going to worry about losing weight. It's going to worry about rebalancing your hormones so that you can live to see another day. And so the people that focus their health journey completely on sitting there believing that if I do this, I'll be healthy because I'll lose weight. I do this and I'll be losing weight, and then I'll look good and I'll feel good. You're not realizing that you're not focusing on healing. Just because you lose weight on the outside does not mean you're helping your body heal on the inside, which is going to, in the end, catch up with you. This whole game of cat and mouse, you should stop playing it with your body, because your body's going to win. You have to realize that the only way that you are here living and breathing is the internal organs that you have. So playing cat and mouse with your internal organs is never going to help you win. Instead of fighting with your body and trying to win this endless game, start working with your body so that you can become a team again. And people are not realizing that they're not on the same team as their body, because your body is telling you, you need to cleanse, you need fruits, you need vegetables. But you've thrown off your chemical balance so much inside of your body that you fight yourself when you crave real food. And you're sitting there like, I don't want a fruit salad or a bowl of fruits. That's not going to fill me up. I don't want any greens on the side because that just tastes gross. I don't want that broccoli unless it's covered and smothered with inflammatory dairy. You're not realizing that you're having an external fight with yourself because your body's craving broccoli. But instead of you saying, I do need to eat more vegetables, you're sitting there saying, I don't want to eat that. So now you're trying to slather it with cheese and everything else so you can get your broccoli intake. So I've been doing and still have acne, and I feel so trapped because I limit myself so much. And that's the thing. People go and think that, like, when I bring up plant-based and they think about like healing, it's salads, it's restricting, it's struggling. And so when you bring up plant-based, they immediately think of all the things that they can't have and all the restrictions and all the struggles they're gonna have to go through. Instead of you sitting here thinking that it's going to be a restriction and a struggle like diet culture is, which a lot of people do, and you continuously do, and you struggle, think about it in the space of the fact that it's not restricting, but rather replacing. Finding new alternatives, finding new snacks, finding different things that replace the things that you love so that you're no longer poisoning yourself so you can see yourself heal. Because when you are struggling with something as far as like how you were talking about acne, that's a sign of inflammation. We have to address, why is the inflammation not healing itself? If we're using fruits and vegetables correctly and incorporating those and flushing our body, then we should be healing. But if we're still eating dairy, if we're still eating meat, if we're still eating processed foods with toxic chemicals like additives and fillers, those are going to keep you inflamed. That's going to combat everything that you're doing with flushing your system with fruits and vegetables. All it's doing is playing the cat and mouse, that chase, trying to keep up with your body, and your body is trying to fight to stay alive. Will a better strategy incorporating fruits will a better strategy incorporating fruits and salad while actively detoxing? Is that a question or a statement? I'm sorry, you're going to have to rephrase that for me. I'm not understanding that. So what point was I on? Hold on, y'all. I'm looking at my notes to figure out which point that I was at where I left off. Please reiterate that for me if you can, if it was a question. You said, what did I say last? Okay. Dieting often creates this cycle of emotional distress. Like I said, it causes you to have anxiety. You're sitting there fighting yourself because you're giving yourself that whole guilt trip of, I shouldn't be craving this. I shouldn't be eating this. I don't need sugar afterwards. I don't need to do this because I just got off of a diet. Now you're sitting there guilting yourself for your body being craving something that you've been giving it for years. You're also sitting there worsening your body image of how you see yourself, because at the end of the day, even though weight fluctuation, when I talk about it, is way different between water weight and the weight fluctuation what society is seeing. You gaining 20 plus pounds and then dropping down to 10 is not normal. It's not safe. You gaining that little bit of water weight between 1 pound to 5 is normal. 10 it's pushing it. 10 is like, we need to figure out what's going on. Is there an imbalance, or do we really just have a weight fluctuation issue, which can possibly just be hormones, not necessarily a food thing. But when you get to 10 plus, 20 plus, at that point you need to look and realize that there's something that is off in your body and your body is trying to talk to you. Because like I said, that 1 to 5 pounds is a warning sign to say like, okay, maybe we didn't drink enough water. Maybe we ate too much yesterday. That's something that's a little bit. But when you get to 10 plus pounds, that's when you have to look and be like, okay, I'm having weight fluctuation. What's happening? Losing or gaining? Because I have people that come to me talk about how they want to gain weight and they fear that they can't on a plant-based lifestyle. But then I go back and I incorporate and reiterate, it's everything you need. If you are sitting there giving yourself healthy fats, proteins, and you're giving yourself the vitamins and minerals of vitamin A, C, D, B12, everything can come from plants. So there is no reason for you to eat meat. There's no reason for you to have dairy. That is just a preference. That is something you have been trained to do. Because in reality, there is a reason why that the Most High sat here and put these vegetables, these fruits on the earth that come from the earth, that we don't have to do anything for the earth to provide. Yes, obviously we have crops that we take care of so that we can have them, our fruit trees, our vegetables, all those different things. But if you left seeds and vegetation on this earth and we stopped mowing, we stopped doing everything, the earth would provide food all on its own. The animals don't go out here trying to sit here and try to figure out, like for instance, the deer aren't sitting out here trying to figure out how can they garden. They mosey their way into the forest and they find them some vegetation and they eat on it. You're not a lion out here having to sit here and try to figure out how you can get your next meal by you're sitting here hunting. You're not in a lion pack. You're not in the wilderness. It's not that difficult for you to gain the concept of the fact that you have been programmed into society believing that you have to have dairy from a cow. You have to sit here and be able to drink or eat dairy because at the end of the day, it gives you, strong bones, when that has been disproven. And if you don't know it's been disproven, you need to be researching and educating yourself more on the foods that you're consuming. The same thing with meat, how they programmed us to eat meat, eat pork especially. You wake up, you're eating bacon, you're eating sausage. They programmed to do these things. They programmed you to eat meat with every single meal. And then you sit back and wonder why you have inflammation. You sit back and wonder why you're built up with toxins. Because you haven't even done any research, because that chicken that you love so much that everybody talks about, oh, I only eat fish and I only eat chicken. That chicken feeds type 2 diabetes. There is literal an article that came out from the Diabetes Association and I think the National Heart Association talking about how the fact that type 2 diabetes is literally fed when you eat chicken. The same thing with you sitting here eating your salmon, your fish, because that's the healthy alternative. But you don't realize that fish swim in the ocean full of chemicals. These chemicals are literally their environment. They swim in microplastics. They eat other fish that swim in chemicals. And they feed off of each other and the environment that they are in. And then you consume that toxic microplastic filled fish and say, this is healthier because that's what my doctor said. But your doctor's not telling you that they literally pour bioweapons in the ocean. Your doctor's not telling you that the fact that the National Heart Association told you and the Diabetes Association came out and said, when you eat when you eat chicken, it feeds type 2 diabetes. It literally keeps it alive inside of your body. So even if you haven't been diagnosed, it still causes diabetes inside of the body, diabetes symptoms, which eventually will lead you to having diabetes. Insulin spikes lead you to having diabetes. Insulin resistance leads you to having diabetes. So that's what's caused inside of your body. You said is a better way to transition incorporating fruits and veggies while actively detoxing. The process is up to you. That's one thing that I teach when you are in my program or you work with me or with a one-on-one. It's the matter of the fact of what you do, because and my brother told me this before I was plant-based, probably like 2 or 3 years before. I was talking to my brother because my brother's a very active man, okay? He in the gym like 5 to 6 times a week, if not 7, if he can push it, right? So I was talking to him about losing weight, wanting to not necessarily build more muscle because I was super muscular, but I wanted to lose weight. And he was talking about doing a juice cleanse. He said, I did a juice cleanse. I dropped a whole bunch of pounds, like all this stuff. And I'm looking at him like, I said, I eat. I don't like doing juice cleanses. I don't want to do a juice cleanse. I don't even think I can make it through a day. To this day, if somebody tells me to do a juice cleanse, I'm still like, now I make natural juice, so it's okay. It's different, but I like to eat. I like to chew. So I will eat my fruits before I decide to only drink them. And so that's a matter of what you choose and what supports your body. But if you are in a space of wanting to cleanse, knowing how to cleanse, and supporting your body through a cleanse, and you also, which cleansing is incorporating fruits and vegetables. So if you are also doing that in the correct space, whichever way you decide to do it, it will support you in transitioning your lifestyle into eating fruits and vegetables. If you're eating meat or you're eating dairy, cutting those out. The longer you stick with it, the less you will crave. The longer you can stick with it and incorporate and replace the things that you loved beforehand will allow you to be able to do that. And like I said, I teach you how to do that. If you want to know my strategy of how I did it exactly, and for us to craft and create you a strategy, you can book a one-on-one with me. And also, if you stay to the end of the live, I do have something that is going to be happening before the end of the year. It's going to happen in about like 10 to 12 days, depending on the timeline. I haven't set a specific date. We will set the date on Friday. You said, what's my opinion on wheat? I eat grains. That's my opinion. I eat them. Everything should be organic. Cold turkey ended up relapsing, so I'm trying to approach it. Okay. Yeah, so if you have an issue with that in any way, If you have any issue with that, any way, then cold turkey would not be for you. It wasn't for me either. Cold turkey would not be for you. It wasn't for me. So let's get on to our next major point. The root cause of your toxic habits. The issue. Getting down to the problem. The root cause is the problem. This is just like when you were doing the scientific method and you sit back and you're like, okay, so first we have to identify the problem. That's why I'm like, I don't understand how we go through school. We get taught this as a very, very young age and we incorporate it all through school. And this is probably the only thing to this day that we probably still use and don't have to sit there and go through each step. But rather when you realize that it's a part of life and they were teaching you something, which school doesn't teach you enough, but that was the one thing that they had tea on, you'll start to realize that everything is a scientific method. When you observe children, infants, toddlers, exploring the world, exploring different things, what do? Identify the problem. Oh, I want to sit up. How do I sit up? Oh, I want that toy. How do I get that toy? Identifying the problem. Oh, I want to lose 10 pounds. How do I lose 10 pounds? What was the problem? How did I get here? How did I gain the weight? Unrecognized toxic habits are the problem with our society and the issue. We're too busy worried about, toxic relationships right now. Let's really sit there and think about that. We're too busy worried about toxic relationships and toxic personality traits. Narcissists, because we love to talk about that. We're so busy worried about that when we sit here and we're talking about how, I'm not toxic, I don't do that, and I don't do that, and I don't date toxic. But you don't realize the habits that you have towards your own body are toxic. Yes, you don't talk down on yourself. Some people might, but let's say you don't. Let's say you're one of the people like me who don't talk down on yourself. You're like, no, I don't call myself dumb. I don't say anything negative about myself. What are the habits that you have when it comes to you taking care of your body, eating correctly, knowing how to support yourself in a cleanse? Because so many people sit here and love to talk about toxicity on this app especially, but don't even realize that the toxicity starts with internally, with the foods that you eat, not just the mindset that you have and the words that you say. You fill your body up with toxic crap every single day, but say that you're not toxic. You're filled with toxins. So how are you not toxic? Just because you don't have the intention of being toxic does not mean you're not filled up with toxins, which are toxic. That's what people do not understand. Just because you're like, well, I didn't intend. It's all about the intention. I didn't intend. You didn't intend to poison yourself for 20 plus years. You didn't intend to eat all the crap that you've eaten and giving yourself diabetes. You didn't intend to sit here and develop cancer. So that's why I don't believe people when they're like, well, my intention was good. That crap does not matter. It's the actions that you have. You didn't intend to sit there and hurt anybody, but you also didn't have the actions to not hurt someone. You didn't intend to give your whole family toxic foods that's now led to everybody having diabetes and inflammation running rampant. Your intention was to feed your family, right? So that's why I say that we get caught up into this thought process of the fact that like, well, my intentions were pure. My intentions were this. But what habits did you have to lead you up to this pure intention? What actions did you take to this pure intention? Because a lot of you just sit here and how you love to manifest of saying, oh, I'm going to be skinny. Oh, I'm going to look good. I'm going to take care of myself. And then the actions don't follow. Your intention was to better yourself. Your intention was to start a new vision for yourself, a new year, right? But what actions did you have to actually achieve that? So that unrecognized toxic habit that you have is sitting here giving you these daily habits of daily habits of microdosing toxicity in your life. That's what I was trying to say. Goodness. Mindless snacking, late night eating, this excess sugar, telling yourself, I had a hard day. Let me go get my favorite snack so I can calm down and I can just watch some TV. You're not realizing that you don't have any actual healthy coping mechanisms. And a lot of you just eat your feelings and then that stores inside of you with the toxins. Because like we were talking about just a minute ago, that cortisol of stress stores inside of your lower belly, specifically more likely than not in women. You develop that big pot belly. You develop that whole inflamed gut, that bloating. And then you're trying to figure out why. But you're not realizing the fact that you sit there every single day and you give yourself that coping mechanism of eating. And it stores inside of you because you never deal with that stress, because you're not coping with the fact that you are stressed out and your cortisol is high. Because you eating your favorite food and stimulating your dopamine is not lowering your cortisol. There's a difference between you giving yourself self-love and giving yourself those actual intentional habits of taking care of yourself, like going and painting, you sitting here and going out and having a good time and having a dinner, having a self dinner, a self date, you taking yourself to the movies and enjoying yourself, going to a festival, something like that, that gets you to release, versus you sitting here eating and stuffing your face, which is all it's doing is just adding and not releasing. There's a difference. People like to go to the gym to release. People like to go, for me, I like to go and take myself on a date. I like to go on dates with my friends. I like to sit there and be able to just enjoy company of other people or myself, go by the lake and de-stress, write me something, write a letter to myself, write my intentions of what I need and what I want, talk to the Most High. These are my release spaces, rather than just sitting here saying, oh, I need my favorite snack so I can feel good. Emotional eating is the major drive for you feeling stressed, lonely, and bored. I'm going to say that again. Your emotional eating is the major drive of the fact that you are feeling stressed, you're feeling lonely, and you're feeling bored. Too many people tie their release quote, because they think they're releasing, to the fact that, oh, I'm bored, I want to eat my favorite snack. Oh, I'm feeling lonely, let me eat my snack because I'm going to get me some ice cream and I'm going to sit here and I'm going to watch a good movie. Oh, I'm so stressed out, let me go get those Oreos and I'm going to eat a whole roll. This is impacting your body to the point where you're not realizing that the fact that obesity rates are ridiculous in society right now. And they're so bad to the point, thank you for the follow and the likes, I really appreciate it, to the point where it's conditioning society to believe that being overweight is normal. It's conditioning society to believe that just because my body doesn't look your way, is that this is the way that my body releases, this is the way my body's going to be. Because at the end of the day, we can have thicker, we can have smaller, you can be paper thin, you can be as thick as the ocean, whichever one. But when you have an overload of excess fat on your body, you have to realize that that is your body's warning sign to tell you that things are storing and they're not being used. Because that's the only way that you have excess fat. This leads you to being obese. This leads you to having diabetes, heart disease, joint pain. Inflammation is the cause of all of this, because when you are built up with toxins, your body gives you warning signs through inflammation. When you are sitting there inflamed and you're eating crap all the time, not only obviously are you going to sit here and have joint pain and you're going to develop other diseases, but this spikes your cortisol. Cortisol, if you do not know, is directly linked to your insulin control. Your body's in fight or flight mode. Some systems are going to have to shut down in order for you to survive. Some things have to slow down for you to survive. After so many years, that's when you start to get the breakdown and things start to shut down. This is how you develop fatty liver. This is how you have heart disease. This is how you have high blood pressure. So really sit back and realize that your poor eating habits are sitting here keeping you chronically inflamed. Too many people have been dealing with this for all of their life. I dealt with it from a very, very young age. In 5th grade, I think 5th grade, you're probably what, 9, 10, maybe if that. I was having to wear 2 knee braces, one on each knee, could not run without a knee brace, because if not, I felt like my knees were literally going to pop out of place. My doctor's telling me, oh, your knee shifts this way because of the inflammation. They're breaking it down to me in all these scientific terms I'm not understanding, but not telling me it's because of the way that you eat, honey, and you have to stop eating all of those processed chemicals. You're telling me, oh, you have inflammation, but you're not telling little old 10-year-old me, hey, you're going to have to stop eating so much of those cookies that you love, of those Oreos. Find an alternative, which I don't know if this brand was out then, but like Simple Truth. That's an alternative brand that doesn't give you toxic chemicals inside of their food. Because all of these different chronic inflammation causing foods are going to lead you to having different nerve damage, brain fog, which a lot of people are suffering from, fatigue, a lot of people are suffering from, depression, anxiety, panic attacks, and sitting here not realizing the fact that this is going to cause you eventually, if you were having insulin spikes and you develop diabetes, to eventually having Alzheimer's, if you just don't skip straight to the Alzheimer's and skip diabetes. Because there have been scientific journals, scientific articles, you can look this up. I think I quoted one probably a couple of months ago. You can scroll through my videos, it's probably way down there. Talking about the fact that they have linked directly sugar in your brain being imbalanced to the point where it leads you to having Alzheimer's. Sugar drives you to insanity. It literally makes you lose your mind. Processed sugars. Let me rephrase that. Processed sugars, non-natural sugars. Because when you're eating your fruits, even though they advise you when you get to diabetes that you shouldn't eat certain fruits because it's going to spike your insulin, but they don't tell you the fact that you can still eat those fruits. You just need to pair them with different non-insulin spiking bases that are going to allow you to enjoy it and keep your insulin stable, which eventually leads your body to naturally recognizing and producing its own estrogen again. I mean, not estrogen, excuse me, insulin that is going to allow you to heal. That's going to allow your body to start recognizing insulin again and taking it in and converting it into energy. But they don't tell you all of that. They just tell you, restrict your apples, restrict your blueberries, don't eat this. Do a diet, because a diet's going to help you manage. You have to listen to these key terms that they use. Manage, prescription, manage. You get the surgery, it manages the issue. They never say, hey, you can heal your diabetes. Start pairing this together. Start doing this. So I'm somebody who is here to tell you right here, right now, whatever you are dealing with your body that is causing discomfort, that is causing an internal stress, which is leading to external stress, can be healed. It's the matter of the actions that you take and the foods that you eat. If you are not ready to take action and to change what you are eating, I'm not here for you. I'm not here to convince you to stop eating meat and dairy. I'm here for the ones that are ready for a change and understand that the way you've been eating has not supported you. You know that it hasn't, because you're here looking for a solution. If you're ready for that solution and you're ready for that change, then you're going to get it. You're going to stop putting yourself in an inflammation state. You're going to stop putting your body in an emotional, overly distressed state. Because too many people are out here overly distressed. And I forgot to say this statistic, but there's a reason why I'm honing in on this so much before 2025. Because you start in 2025, by 2029, you'll be where I am right now. You won't be where I am in 2029, but you'll be where I am right now. Understanding, taking care of your body, and healed. You'll be educating others, because by 2030, they are sitting there projecting to make $1 trillion profit off of the US alone, $1 trillion profit off of us being diabetic and obese. They're planning on making $1 trillion profit, and they're not making this a national crisis. Like, that's the key factor that you have to understand. They're projecting to make $1 trillion profit off of people being overweight and diabetic. And so instead of them saying and stepping back and going, well, what's making everybody overweight? Why are all these young people developing diabetes? Because they're seeing in teens and young adults, they're about to start surpassing adults on the scale of developing insulin resistance and actually being diagnosed with diabetes. So instead of them stepping back and saying, this should be a national crisis, because we shouldn't have young people dealing with all of this, seeing kids, because it's in the record number of kids now, seeing insulin spikes and insulin resistance in children. They don't see it as a national crisis because you're a profit. You are a profit, a dollar sign, a margin to them, a number, a statistic. So when you realize that you are ready to change because the poor eating habits that you have been taught from the programming, from peers, society, parents, whatever they show you on TV that you were learning at a very young age is not led you down the path of taking care of your body correctly, then you need to stay tuned for this next part, and you need to understand that it starts with using food as your medicine. Because you have to take a moment and you have to reflect the habits that you have. And that's something that you need to do if you have not taken an inventory of what has led you here by getting to the root cause. Thanks for the share. I really appreciate it. You have to take that mental inventory. Thank you so much for the likes too, guys. I see you. Because there's no judgment. That's the one thing. When you are taking your mental inventory and assessing what is going on, you should never be judging yourself for the habits that you've had. Because now you are at the space of you realizing there's something wrong and you need to find a fix. Not a quick fix, but a solution. And so those small little changes are going to make the huge impact that you need. Sitting back and taking in the facts versus your opinion and what everybody has taught you to believe, but actual facts. You can walk outside right here, right now. This is fact. The I think the Diabetes Association, I think that's what it was talking about the fact that out of every 3 adults, you count 1, 2, 3, out of every 3 adult, one of them is diabetic. Out of every 3, or insulin resistant. So 1, 2, 3, you count out of every 3 people in the U.S. Out of every 3, one of them is diabetic or insulin resistant, and that's not a national crisis to them. It takes 21 to 66 days to form a habit so that it becomes a behavioral change, so that it's no longer a conscious thought, but actually in your subconscious. So why not simplify that process? Why not make it easier for yourself to incorporate the lifestyle and enjoy it while you're making a behavioral change? Why make it difficult? Replace certain little things that you love. If you love to drink Sprite, if you love to drink soda, stop drinking soda. I feel like that should be a known thing now, but I know too many people that are heavily reliant on their Dr. Peppers, their Pepsis, and their Mellow Yellows and Sprites. I was addicted to Sprite. So I'm saying this as somebody who was addicted to Sprite. Thank you for the follows. I really appreciate the shares and the likes. There's an alternative for you to make Sprite. Her name is, I think her name is Jen Jones on here, I want to say. And this is the recipe I'm going to tell you. I absolutely love her recipes. I love because she's about detoxing and cleansing. I am more of a overall healing and using cleansing and detoxing, but she is focused on just cleansing and detoxing specifically. And so she shows you how to make natural Sprite. All you need to do is get that, I don't know what brand it is of sparkling water, but it's a good brand of sparkling water, and mixing in ginger, lemon, or lime. Super simple, super easy. And I know you're sitting here like, I'm not going to make it right. You're panicking, you're worried, right? It's not hard. First of all, the lemon cancels out the ginger taste, and that's the reason why you don't taste all that ginger in your Sprite. So if you're tasting more ginger than you are of the actual Sprite taste, you need to add more lemon. You're panicking and worrying, but you don't look at any of these ingredients of the things that you drink and that you love and realize that, like, even if it says, for instance, how Sprite says it has no caffeine, no added sugar, whatever else that it loves to put, those Diet Cokes, Diet Dr. Peppers, all those different things because you think that it's healthier, you don't realize that just because they say no added sugar, that means no added processed sugars, like them going and getting your granulated white sugar that you have at home, your brown sugar. But they can add aspartame. They can add there's no law against them adding aspartame, sweet and low, high fructose corn syrup. There is no law against them adding those and still putting in there no added sugar, because they didn't add in that processed white sugar or brown sugar in there, which is still toxic. All of it is toxic. Even when they say 0 sugar added, that is still marketing for them to say, oh, but we can add high fructose corn syrup, because that's the thing. That's not sugar. That's corn syrup. The same thing, how they stopped adding in molasses for things, which is a natural, which it's not the greatest sugar, but molasses is a natural sugar, right? They started adding a high fructose corn syrup because it's cheap. It's easy. They make GMO corn all the time. All they got to do is extract the corn syrup. Thanks for the follows and the likes. Start really educating yourself in this space and realizing that nutrition is your medicine. Food that you eat is your medicine. You incorporating these foods and this support through the things that you are intaking internally and putting on your body externally is your medicine. Not you sitting here taking your prescription, not you sitting here doing diet culture. Anti-inflammatory foods, you getting your leafy greens, your berries, your nuts, your legumes, your seeds. I said nuts, same thing. Whatever. Oh, seeds and nuts are different. They reduce your inflammation and they promote your healing. Eating a rainbow plate is going to give you all the vitamins and minerals that you're so worried about with going plant-based when you're sitting here like, I can't sit here and eat this way because I won't be able to get my protein. I won't be able to get this. You have to be mindful of what you're consuming, as well as the fact that realizing when you are flowing through the things that you're giving with natural water, your body's processes are flowing. When you're drinking water, your body's processes are flowing. When you're getting active, just walking, doing jump rope, running, whatever, your movement is helping your body get to flowing. These are natural processes that you have to have, because if you're not flowing, there's a block. That's the same thing when you look at a river flowing down. You see a river flowing, you see the rocks. What's going on with the rocks? There's tension. If there's a line of rocks, let's say a beaver decided they wanted to build a dam. Now there's tension, there's a resistance, there's a block. Think about that when your body is sitting there not functioning the way that it should be and you feel fatigued, you feel tired, you feel unsupported. That means there's a block. That flow is not there because there's something in the way. What's in the way? Toxins. They're built up. Inflammation, because you're toxic on the inside. It's building up. It's keeping the processes of your body being able to release. There's no flow. There's a lack. Now you have to get to the root cause of, what am I lacking? How did it happen? Because there was an action that was made. There was an action that was taken. Either your actions help you or they harm you. So what action did you take? Healing, not only physically, but also emotionally, can happen from food. Because like I said, you're sitting there eating these foods and not realizing the fact that it's causing depression. It's causing you to sit here and have all of this anxiety, panic attacks. When you are sitting there having all of these issues, thank you for the gift. You have to realize that it goes deeper than just, oh, I need to eat this sugar because it's going to make me feel good before I go to bed, so then I can wake up tomorrow and I can sit here and do this and X, Y, and Z, and then I can make it through the week and I can make it through this week and next week. And linking the fact that your gut and your brain are directly connected is going to help you realize that you have not been taking care of your body for quite a while. And that's why you've been going in and out of depression episodes all your life. That's the reason why you've been having anxiety all your life. That's the reason why you have panic attacks more rampant than ever. Because when you realize that when your gut pH is off, which literally releases your stress hormone, because your gut is in charge of that stress hormone, it's sending signals to your brain to say, hey, our gut balance is off. We're stressed out. Here's all this cortisol. Now your brain's stressed out, working overtime, trying to rebalance your gut, trying to get all your other systems to function correctly. Your liver's trying to filter out toxins. Your kidney's trying to filter your blood, which is built up with toxins because you rub your body down with all of this chemical body wash, perfumes, and everything else. Do you not see the cycle of toxicity? That's why I said that y'all love to say that you have no toxic habits, but your body is literally toxic on the inside. Even when you don't have grocery options, you should be prepared. And that's what I'm telling people, that like, if you need that support of understanding that you have not set yourself up for the actual starter foundation that you need to be taking care of your body, because we've never been taught these things, you need to get into my program. Because I wasn't taught this at all. The emotional trauma and stress that you have put on your body is also driving more toxicity, more toxic habits, more toxic foods you want to consume, because you have thrown off your brain's chemical balance of actually craving real, whole, natural foods. So, addressing the root cause of the issue is going to create that real transformation that you need and that you want. You want to relieve that overload. You want to relieve the stress. You want to relieve that emotional trauma that you put yourself under. You have to start establishing new healthy habits and stop just doing what you're doing and expecting different results. You have to sit here and realize that you've been eating meat and dairy and these processed foods all of your life, and this is where you are currently right now. Have they been helping you? No. Have you tried anything that actually changes versus just doing diets? No. Diets are momentary facades. What's actually going to get you change? Eating fruits, eating vegetables, cutting out meat and dairy, learning how to make plant-based meals. And it's not difficult to incorporate. You can simplify the process. I have a literal beginner cookbook that is linked in my bio. Super simple, super easy for you to start making plant-based meals. They're beginner meals that I still make to this day that I absolutely love. Because there are plenty of practical steps for you to not only heal with food, but also understanding and realizing that you have to reparent those terrible habits that have led you here. It's okay to let go. It's okay to change. I only eat organic, yes. The lifestyle that you are living currently is no longer supporting you, and you're looking for a solution, but you're not doing anything to find it. And so this is the reason why you go into another year not taking care of your body. This is the reason why you go into another year of doing the same thing but expecting a different result. That's not going to work for you. Okay, you're gonna save that question to the end for me about the blood type, and I'll explain that again. But I do have a video for the people that if you followed, you have to tap in, tap out. I don't know if people are at work or what, but I do have a video. It's probably kind of far back, but you could say to the end and I'll answer that question again if that's something that will support you. Let me see. Okay, so this is what we're going to be moving into for before 2025, for right now, for us to be able to really see change and to actually start incorporating that before January 1st. The vision for the new you. This is what we talked about last live. We kind of touched on it, but we didn't really get into it. That live will be posted. If it's not already posted, I can't remember exactly if I scheduled it or not. But the vision for new you. The vision for new you does not start in 2025. It does not start January 1st. It started today. It started yesterday. When you first had that thought of, I want to lose weight. I need to start taking care of myself. When you first have that thought of, okay, I need to change something. I'm developing insulin resistance. That's the day that you had the vision for the new you. When your doctor sat there and told you develop diabetes, high blood pressure, whatever else, you have to take this medication. Did you envision that for yourself? No. What are you envisioning now? Get rid of this, heal, not have to take this every single day. That's the vision that you have. That's the vision you should have. So visualize what you want and how you want to feel. You want to feel free. You want to feel energized. You want to feel confident. You want to sit here and feel like you're supported internally. Free. You want to feel energized. You want to feel confident. You want to sit here and feel like you're supported internally. By the foods that you eat. These are small little steps that you look forward to. These are the small little things that are going to lead you to realizing that the change is not difficult. These are the steps that you make and the actions that you take. So when you are ready to break that cycle and you are ready to start building new habits and understanding habits that actually last, and keeping those and incorporating those and showing your family, showing your future kids, if you have any kids, showing them now, getting them to raise themselves in a space of knowing how to take care of their body and show others how easy it can be for you to live a plant-based lifestyle, not have to struggle, and to not be with, to not have the lack mindset and be without. We will raise a new generation of kids actually knowing how to take care of their body because their parents started taking care of their body, because you started taking care of your body, showing the older generations that they've been poisoned, and they've been poisoned for literal decades. And now it's time for them to stop believing in diet culture and these toxic foods and start actually tapping into their body's potential of healing itself from the inside out. Because we should not be suffering from all these diseases like we are. We shouldn't be sitting here struggling and suffering the way that we are as a society mentally. And I can tell you that majority of these people that are suffering from all of these issues when it comes to their brain and them being stable and them not having anxiousness and depression is coming from the food that they're eating. All of these different chronic illnesses and disorders that we keep diagnosing and are becoming more prevalent and more prominent in our society are being caused by the foods that we eat. And yet we sit here and try to figure out how it happens, and it happens to the good people, and all these different things that we love to say, and that at the end of the day we're here for a good time and not a long time. But you take no accountability to the actions that you had for 20 plus years of building on toxins and never releasing and never supporting your body. What did you expect your body to do? Because when you give your car no oil, knowing you needed an oil change, you're not expecting your car to keep running at full capacity in the way that it was when it was full of gas and oil and taken care of, serviced right beforehand. You don't sit there and take a 1,000-mile trip across country in a car that has not been serviced and maintenance and taken care of beforehand. If you do, you know you're going to break down. So what's the point of even going? You do everything you need to do to prepare that. So think about what you're doing to your body every single day. Sitting here thinking, I have no energy, so let me go drink coffee. I have no energy, but I have to go to work. You're not giving your body any maintenance of service to give yourself the things that you're asking for. You want energy, but you eat no food that gives you energy. You want to stop being fatigued, but you give yourself nothing that gives you actual stability for when you go to sleep. You sit here and you want to be taking care of yourself and losing weight and look good, but you don't give yourself any foods that help you flush. You don't want to release diabetes, but you don't manage your insulin with the foods that you eat, so you don't have an insulin spike. You just keep eating the same crap that gave you diabetes. You just limit it a little bit. You don't realize that even the foods that don't have necessarily processed added sugars still spike your insulin because you have to have the stabilizing healthy fats and healthy proteins. Hi, how are you? How are you? Welcome in. So, if you are ready to start using food as your medicine, then I have something that is for you, and we will dive deeper into creating that life that you deserve and that you want for yourself. Thank you so much for these gifts. So this is what I have for you. For the people that are ready for a change, that are ready to implement this, and they're ready to stop stressing their body out and stressing themselves out, but actually make a change in their health and see a shift. We are going to be having a masterclass. We are going to be having a masterclass that is going to support you at the end of at the end of this year, but it's going to be before the end of the year, of visioning that new you, that new self, and incorporating and establishing those new habits and getting to the root cause of the issue that you're currently having when it comes to your body and why it's not healing, that block. We are going to get to that block so that we can release it. Once we discover what that block is, we are going to start making action plans, which are the habits that you have to incorporate this new lifestyle of healthy journey, of the health journey, of your health journey. So, through this masterclass, we're not only going to sit here and dive deeper into obviously getting to the root cause and crafting you that strategy is going to help you be able to set goals and go throughout the year accomplishing those goals and having that vision of the new self and keeping that vision, just like we love to make vision boards, but we don't actually get to the root causes of the issues that we were having before, or getting to the root cause of the root solution. So we don't ever actually make an impact on those vision boards. This is the time for you to be able to do that towards your health and healing, so that you see that healing and you don't have to make it difficult, but you can simplify the process. I do have a pre-sale that is still going because I had some prior engagements that kept me from promoting this, because I said that it was going to end on Monday and I didn't get to promote it as long as I wanted to. So I am going to extend it until Friday a.m. You can get it at the pre-sale price right now for the basic package. For the plain old Vision and Focus is for $147. After that pre-sale, it's going to go up to $197. So I'm just going to let you know that now. That is just for the focus group, the Envision and Focusing, the original package. If you get the executive package, which is the second tier, you tap into the executive package. You are not only going to get everything that I just listed with a vision of yourself, your goal setting, and then the new habits that we're going to establish and allowing us to get to our healthy lifestyle journey. But it's also going to allow you to, with this executive package, do your home audit, because we're going to have a one-on-one where we're going to audit your pantry, your refrigerator, and we're going to sit here and start incorporating new things for you to supplement in, making you your own grocery list and recipes. The executive package for the pre-sale is going to be at $217. After that pre-sale price, it will no longer be $217. It's going to go up to $297. That package right there usually runs you about $400 to $500. I am making this price right now just for the people that are ready for a change before 2025. Because in 2025, when the people are running to me talking about how now they diets didn't work and it's March and they're struggling and they're suffering and oh, this is happening, they're gonna have to pay that $300 to $400 price, whichever one I make it, because it might be $497 by then. But for the people that are ready for change before 2025 and they know that they need it and they want it and they're ready to start incorporating it, so then they don't have to wait until January. They don't have to wait until March and see that it's not working. But rather see that the change can happen and be there in March when everybody gives up and going to the gym and taking care of their body, and then still seeing it all the way through for the summer and seeing how they've literally lived half of the year, taking care of their body and incorporating and using food as their medicine, and their body is healing and being supported. That's for those people. The people that want replacement items, the people that want to replace the habits, reparent those habits, and to establish the lifestyle of healing. See transformation before January, before 2025. And if you are ready for that, if you are ready to incorporate that, hold on, it's asking me to verify myself. If you are ready for that, there is no link in my bio specifically for that masterclass that is happening. You are going to have to DM me. I need you to DM me. Just, you can send me 2025. I'll know exactly what you're talking about, to make it simple, or you can DM me masterclass. Send me that, and I will give you the direct link for you to be able to book. Tell me, actually, take that back. Tell me focus or tell me executive. You can tell me 2025 and I'll ask you executive or focus. The focus is the basic, the original package of you focusing on the vision of yourself. The executive package is going to give you the focus, which is the vision of self, all the things I listed, and it's going to give you the home audit of the pantry, your refrigerator, you making a shopping list, and you having a couple of recipes that are going to help you be able to start incorporating plant-based foods in your life and seeing how simple it can be for you to cook them. So if you have any questions, please drop your questions down. I will be taking questions. Before I get off of here, I'm not really hungry right now. I'm debating if I am, because I feel like I'll say that and then like in 10 minutes I'll be hungry. Thank you so much, guys, for the 5.6K likes. I really appreciate it, as well as the gifts. So, like I said, if you have any questions, please drop them down. If you do not know who I am, hi, my name is Kendra. I am now the plant-based naturopath. And so, if you do not know what naturopath is, I'm going to break that down a little bit for you. It's incorporating and using actual natural methods of healing for healing. So it goes deeper than just you taking a medication or getting a surgery or anything like that. That is a momentary facade, a momentary fix that they're going to promote to you with Western medicine. But actually understanding and incorporating using food as your medicine, using your products to help you heal and not be poisoning yourself. And overall, using natural things from the earth that allow your body to do its natural design, which is natural healing from the inside out. Okay, so you asked about eating for your blood type. I've talked about this many times. I honestly need to make a video and pin it on my page on TikTok. It's just not something that I like talking about much, because people love to come in and try to argue with me, and I'm not going to argue with you. Like I said, if you're not ready for a change, I'm not going to argue with you about it. I'm just going to let you think your opinion, and I'm going to stay here with the facts, because I do plenty of research to have all the facts that I need to debunk these things that people want to argue about because their doctor told them so. Doctors promote eating for your blood type, and they promote you eating meat and dairy. Only people that I know that eat for their blood type are the people that still eat meat and dairy. They still eat fish. They still drink cow's milk. They still do this and that, because I had one lady come in here, and I'm pretty sure she blocked me now because I think it was so funny, because I said, oh yeah, I want to see your journey. I left a comment and I said, yeah, I want to see your journey. She came in here talking about eating for your blood type, and I debunked it, and she blocked me. I want you to understand the fact that you don't have to eat for your blood type if you're eating to take care of your body. The only people that do that are the people that still eat meat and dairy. She still ate fish. Even though she called herself plant-based, she was still eating fish. And I was like, well, that's not plant-based. So I'm pretty sure that's probably why she blocked me. When you are sitting there eating meat and dairy still, but you're eating for your blood type because that's what they tell you to eat for your blood type, you're focusing on the lifestyle they were telling you that poisoned you in the beginning. If you're eating your fruits, you're eating your vegetables, you're eating nuts, you're eating legumes, you're flushing your system with natural foods. So there is no reason for you to be sitting there eating for your blood type, because you're going to be getting all the nutrients that you need. You'll be getting your vitamin A, C, D, B12, everything they're telling you can't get, iron, magnesium. Because you can get all of that if you were eating a rainbow plate and incorporating this actually correctly in your lifestyle. But many people are sitting here going vegan and eating vegan products and not understanding how to fully take care of their body. So then they get told that they have a B12 deficiency. They're not getting enough iron or magnesium. And then they go and try to supplement it in with supplements, or they go back to the old lifestyle because they say this is not supporting me. The only way for you to fully get supported is you knowing how to eat a full rainbow plate of foods that are going to give you all the nutrients that you need. That's the reason why I teach people how to eat a rainbow plate and use food as their medicine. So for the people that sit there and say they're like, oh, I went plant-based, which AKA they went vegan, and they're like, oh, I went vegan and it didn't work, or I did this and it didn't work. You didn't have the strategy and the simplification like I teach people. So that's the reason why it didn't work for you. You didn't have the right education starting into it. You thought it was a diet. That's why it didn't work for you. Because everybody's body is tailored the same regardless of your blood type. Your body runs off of fruits and vegetables. You could go decades without eating meat and dairy and be supported, be healthy, be fine, no diseases, no, deficiencies. People go decades eating just meat and dairy, and they suffer, they have diseases, they have illnesses, they have all of these things going on. So I really want people to sit back and address the situation when it comes to, oh, I have to have meat, I have to have dairy. You all are doing the same thing in society, but expecting different results. You wonder why so-and-so is so healthy and they run 5Ks, but then they drop down and have a heart attack and you're trying to figure out how. It was a block. Just like what we're talking about. That river flows down and those little pebble rocks, if there's enough of them, they'll cause a block and that river will stop flowing. You are so welcome. Any more questions before I get off? Any more questions? Any of you have any questions about living a plant-based lifestyle, natural healing, any questions about the masterclass or the program, please let me know. And like I said, the masterclass is not linked in my bio. I have to create that. I will create that. Probably will be up tomorrow. So if you have any questions about that, please drop them down, or feel free to DM me if you have anything specific that you don't want to ask here on live. I will answer them in my DMs if you have any questions about living a plant-based lifestyle, healing, eating to live, anything like that. Food is medicine. Any personal questions you don't want to ask on live, you can always DM me and ask those. But if not, I am going to hop off. It's been today's been a blessing. That's all I have to say. It's been an amazing blessing. And if you want to start cooking your own plant-based meals and you're interested in that and you want to learn beginner-friendly recipes that will support you in understanding how simple it can be, I do have a plant-based cookbook that is $35 that is linked in my bio. That $35 cookbook is not going to break your bank. And it also is going to help you be able to just start incorporating and replacing like we've been talking about throughout this whole live. So I'm not seeing any more questions. So like I said, my DMs are always open. And if you are watching this later on YouTube, please do not forget to subscribe. And if you are here now and you have not subscribed, go subscribe. And I think there's a line where my mascara is probably hit my eyelash, but go subscribe if you have not subscribed. Like the video. All of my past lives are posted on YouTube. So if you've missed any of this live or my past lives and you want to catch up and you want to catch the content, because I give you all of this free content so you can change your lifestyle with the free content. So there's no reason for you to complain about any prices, anything like that, saying it's a money grab, because at the end of the day, you can change with the free content just like how I did with the free education that I give you and I tell you. Or you can tap into my strategy and my simplification of everything so that you don't have to struggle or guess or try to figure it out. Because I've been in this lifestyle for 4 years. 4 years, and I will not be going back. I had my trials. I had my errors. I had the struggles in the beginning. I figured out how to go through all of that and to trump all of that and kept with the lifestyle within 3 months. A lot of people, within a couple of weeks of them struggling, give up and quit. I had 3 months of trial and error, which was a lot of good, but some of the bad was like, dang, I want to simplify that so nobody else has to go through that process and feel like that they're alone, because a lot of people feel like they're alone in their transformation journey, and you're not. It's a matter of the fact of what you do and how you incorporate the things that I teach you, and incorporate actually using food as medicine and eating a rainbow plate. That's how you support yourself. So I am not seeing any more questions. Thank you so, so much for all the likes, guys. I really appreciate it. And like I said, if you do want to tap into the program, it is linked in my bio as well as that cookbook. If you want to get into that masterclass, that will be happening around the 20, I think I have it right now for like the 22nd, maybe. That's a Sunday. I think it's the second Sunday before the end of the year. Maybe the third Sunday. I mean, the third to second Sunday, whichever it is. I don't know which one it is. It's one of the Sundays. Like I said, DM me and I will send you the information for that. We'll talk about that and you can get into that course for the pre-sale price before it goes up. The executive package is $217 right now. If you do not want to tap into the executive, but you just want the focus on the new self, then you can get it for $147. So I hope you have an amazing, amazing rest of your day. Truly, I hope that this life has impacted you positively, and I hope that this has allowed you to see something in a different light, in a different space of positivity as far as it comes to your health and shifting into a healthy lifestyle and not diet culture. So thank you. And if you have not followed me, go ahead and follow me. I am gone.